Yes, everyone, here we go. Literally, this is a live stream with a here we go. It is Fabrizio Romano yet again. It is absolutely crazy right now. And I mean, honestly, I don't know where to begin with what's happened. And again, while I've been away, everything has gone on. We're still getting over Brian and Mbumo and what's happened with that. So that has happened, that is done. He is at Old Trafford today, medical tomorrow at Carrington. That will all be finalised. Manchester United have been playing against Leeds. We'll touch on that as well, but there's only one place to start this afternoon. We brought up the nearly done earlier on before the game started. After the game, while the game was going on, Romano has just cemented it. Here we go, Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. All of the information is coming out. We talked earlier on about what Ornstein said. Manchester United agreeing with Barcelona in the final stages. More reports came out after that. Marcus Rashford making a huge sacrifice to make this move happen. So what he's on, we're not going to find out exactly what. I don't know how this works out. But the breaking news and the biggest one out of all of this right now has just come out from David Ornstein. And we'll get everyone's opinions on this. This is what I said earlier on when I said there has to be something here that really has enticed Manchester United into this loan deal and accepting it. Not only did we find out that this was a 30 million option next season for Barcelona to buy him, Manchester United making it easy to sign Marcus Rashford. I think that will be accepted at 30 million. I think that's a no-brainer. I think United will be confident that he's gone at that price. And Barcelona are covering the entirety of Marcus Rashford's wages. So what I said earlier on, Marcus Rashford on 20 million plus a year at Manchester United on that ridiculous contract he's got, gone, covered, off the books, absolutely massive for Manchester United. This gives us so much room to play with the window and what we need to bring in for players now. But the big thing there, I think, out of this all is how quickly United accepted it off the back of what Manchester United told Barcelona they wanted. Now, we've heard that Manchester United were going to be open for a loan for Marcus Rashford, but for United to accept it this quick after conversations only just starting again, apparently last week, we had no concrete information at all. Only rumours that United and Barcelona would open talks again. Fenerbahce were talking about taking Marcus Rashford on this morning. I didn't cover it. I just didn't see Marcus Rashford ever wanting to go to Fenerbahce until we got the definite no-go for Marcus Rashford to Barca. There wasn't any point in talking about anything else. Rashford to Juve was never on the cards. That was mentioned again, like just rumours. Until Barcelona was off, I don't think Manchester United were ever looking at Rashford going anywhere else. They gave him the extra time. He's come back to Carrington, obviously. They gave him the extra weeks. They wanted him to get these deals done before United went on tour. And all of a sudden, it's all clicking into place. Now, a lot of people, like we said earlier on, with this being an option to buy, it's only a loan, will not be happy with this deal. I get it. I get any Manchester United fan looking at this and going, we're still in the same position. Marcus Rashford's coming back next year. When that 30 million price tag came out, and then when I heard about Marcus Rashford making that sacrifice, I think there's a deal behind the scenes here with this. I think there's something agreed between Marcus Rashford and Barcelona and United and Barcelona here. If Barcelona don't commit to 30 million quid next summer, then that's embarrassing for them. It's obviously up to Marcus Rashford to perform at this level now, but maybe this was what Barcelona was saying. You need to show us that the old Marcus Rashford is the Marcus Rashford that we're buying. And next season, when it comes to it, we're covering all of your wages now if you take the sacrifice. It looks like he has, which is the agreement between Marcus Rashford and Barcelona that I was talking about. And then between United and Barcelona, it's like, right, okay, we'll give you a cheaper buy option next summer as long as you cover the entirety of Marcus Rashford's wages. He's now off the books. I cannot stress the importance of that more than anything else in this deal. Rashford's wages gone is absolutely huge for Manchester United going forward. It's absolutely mammoth. It gives us every single bit of freedom we need now to go out and create a package and a deal for a player coming in. This, I think, was where Manchester United really went down on this. It's like if no one was going to come in for him, and no one was, let's be honest. We've had 7 to 8 weeks now with no offers at all for Marcus Rashford. I said this before. I said, take the hit, take the loan. I was fully expectant of Marcus Rashford to go on loan to Barcelona. United just needed to make this deal work for them. And I think this does. I think he'll be gone next summer. I think 30 million is easily payable for somebody. They've dropped that price. This is how much Manchester United are willing to take the hit. They've knocked 10 million off his price tag. They've let him go out on loan again, and they've given Barcelona every opportunity to be able to afford this. This is absolutely everything that Manchester United needed to do, in my own opinion, what I've been going on about. How can you now, after Bryan Mbeumo, convince the Man United fan base that you are good at what you do? And don't get me wrong, look, I know there's some of you that are saying, Adam, shut up, this still isn't a good deal. I get that, that's fine. You're completely welcome to your opinion on this, but Manchester United are not in the same scenario as other clubs. And I've said this so many times. I've said, look, Manchester United don't have the freedom that other clubs do right now because of what's happened before. And what happened before was we got stuck with these players, and these players don't want to move. But the majority of these players have been that bad. United have been forced into loaning them out just to get them out of the way, and therefore the majority of the players that Man United want out this summer have not even featured last season for United. Malacia, Anthony, Sancho, Rashford, all of them players that United want out don't feature for this club. So there's no bargaining there for United. There's no upper hand at all in this deal. So what do you have to do? Accept the previous regime's mistakes and make the most out of the situation that you can. And Manchester United have 100% nailed down this, I think. I am absolutely made up with this news. I think it's brilliant business for Manchester United. There'll be other people, quite rightly, in their own minds thinking we should have gone with the permanent deal, and I can't argue with that. That is a better option for Manchester United. But could you have realistically got it, is the bigger question in this. Not that this isn't as good as what it could have been. It's, could you have got that other deal? It's like, again, I always use the example. When you ask Omar Barada, can United win the league in 2028? Yeah, you can. It's the wrong question. Will we do it is the right question. And he would have automatically probably said no. But he wasn't allowed to ask or be asked that question because they know the answer to it. It's all set up in terms of how you answer it. So use that method in this Marcus Rashford scenario right now. Is selling Marcus Rashford better this summer than loaning him? Well, of course it is. And I would have snatched your hand off for it. Do you, though, think it can happen with what happened last season, the fallouts, his wages, and how much United were asking for him after he finished at Aston Villa? Your answer to that question, yeah, you guessed it, it's a no. They're not going to get that deal done. So United, I think, have just accepted it. It is a big, big decision. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it is the best that we could have got, like I've just mentioned there. I just think Manchester United were pushed into a corner here into this summer. I think a certain stage was hit. If deals hadn't been done, that meeting in Iceland, wow, I think Sir Jim Radcliffe just said, right, that's it, no more, bang, 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 let's get on with this. And now I'm thinking, God, what else is coming? And this is it. Like, as soon as Mbeumo was done, Manchester United have just gone, we need to move. And we need to get moving very, very quickly here with everything that's happening at the football club. And I think this is what's happening now. And this is a result of this. And Marcus Rashford is the first example of Manchester United kicking into gear with what we all know as a Man United fan base needs to be done. So this, I think, is now, I think it's a debate. I think it's something that everybody needs to obviously have their opinion on, discuss. So let's get into the comment section on this now and get into what has actually happened. Give me your thoughts on everything that's gone down with Marcus Rashford, everyone. We didn't have much time to do it earlier on, but let's do it. Adam, please stay on holiday. Everything happens. It's like I got back from Greece earlier the week. I thought, right, nothing's happened, so let's go away again. No, I didn't plan it. Of course I didn't plan it. But this, I think, is exactly what happens when... this is what I expected to happen when I went away. But yeah, this, I think now, I think is for every United fan, the last couple of days in particular, a big moment in this window. And I think this is what we've all been waiting for. I think this is what, you know what, it's like, come on now. Let's push down on this. Let's do this. With Matty Moretto reporting the 30 million buy option alongside this news that Manchester United are not having to pay a cent and will save 15 million plus on wages. That allows so much more flexibility for the rest of the window. Move Sancho, get an auction between Chelsea and Spurs, so and so. Again, it's more people talking about everything that could possibly happen now with this. paying the entirety of Marcus Rashford's wages, reported from David Ornstein on this deal, is the biggest thing out of it. It is. You can't beat Leeds. How will you beat us? Leeds in a friendly, mate. I really don't give a shit. To be honest, saying we're talking about Marcus Rashford in this one, mate. I think you've missed the old. I think you've missed the boat in terms of the topics here, pal. No one really cares about Leeds United, to be honest, mate. You worry about your own team, buddy. Well, thanks for the super chat again, mate. Sibba says they bid almost 60 million for Luis Diaz. They don't even want to pay 30 million for Rashford now. Shocking deal, because if he flops at Barca, we will be 100% stuck with him and get zero. No, we're not, because it helps us right now, mate, get another player in this summer, which could help United get into the Champions League. And like I said earlier on, when he comes back, Casemiro moves on. So that massive wage is still off Manchester United's books, and it gives us more time to sell him with less on his wages, therefore having to give less of a severance pay next summer as well. You can look at it negatively if you want, I get it, but you're never going to convince me that this is a bad deal for Manchester United. Sorry, mates. Not this one. I knew this was going to happen, and I've been calling it out all summer, and everyone in the chat will say the same thing. I did call this, and this what I think is the best result for Manchester United. That Leeds game highlights the fact that we are crying out for a striker. Yeah, United just don't score goals, do they? It's as simple as that. United do not score goals. And I just, until we sort that out, I think quite clearly there, it's worked out perfect timing for United, because we've got the situation where you've got friendlies going on and a transfer window really kicking into overdrive. I just feel like now it's perfect. We'll go out on tour and we'll probably see similar games than what we saw today. So, and that proves that Manchester United are still miles away from where we need to be. And everybody knows at Manchester United, including the most important people, like Romano said earlier on today when we covered that this morning, that United need a striker. And United will now go out and buy a striker. This now adds to the excitement. As soon as we hear the news about United needing a striker, Marcus Rashford is out of the door. And again, I don't give a toss that this is a loan. I just know that Rashford's gone, and the fact that Manchester United don't pay a cent of his wages gives us absolutely acres of space to do deals with now. It really does. That is one big wage off the books. And when Sancho is gone, this will open everything up for Manchester United massively. It really will. Glad Rashford gone. Hope it stays that way, says Leo. Galavantron says it's actually better than the Villa loan, as long as he plays, because he'll start to pad in La Liga. Jin says, I don't personally care for the single current United player apart from new signings this summer. Yoro, Ahmad and Heaven. The rest, for me, can leave the club. Happy to be proved wrong. Of course you are, mate. Would love to see an old school type of striker, I think that's supposed to say there, mates. Typo had you. A prime Cavani, Diego Costa, a proper bull of shithouse, and got a hell of a finish in him. In terms of the profile of striker that United need, robust, direct, clinical. I think that's probably exactly all summed up what Man United actually need. I really do think that is exactly where United should be going, and we have actually been looking at a few of them strikers already. So yeah, let's see what comes. Saving 16 million a year off his wage, 30 million option, 46 mil gain if triggered next year. That's huge. Yes, it is, Morton. It really is. Adam, I'll be with you. This deal for Rashford is good. His wage being removed is, in my opinion, is excellent. Yep, Casemiro and Shaw need to be moved on, says PGM. Get your comments in on the game as well, everybody. Obviously, the bigger news tonight isn't the friendly at Manchester United against Leeds in Sweden. It is that Marcus Rashford, here we go, is leaving Manchester United for Barcelona. It is only a season-long loan with an option to buy, but a very cheap option with all of Marcus Rashford's wages off the book. I want to know so much how much Marcus Rashford has sacrificed. The word sacrifice is hilarious, isn't it, considering what he's on. But I would love to know what Marcus Rashford's wage is now, just to make this deal happen. Number 7 says, Watkins in now. Well, this is only going to ramp up all of the talk now. We expect Marcus Rashford to be a Barcelona player next week now. That's what's been said. Also, if you didn't hear the news earlier on as well, Bryan Mbeumo was at Old Trafford today doing his necessary stuff. The media stuff will continue alongside his medical tomorrow. And everything will be signed and done tomorrow, Sunday. That's brought up by Laurie Whitwell just after the kickoff of the game earlier on, actually. So, again, massive, absolutely huge for Manchester United fans this weekend. To kickstart yesterday with Mbeumo and now Marcus Rashford through heading out the door as well. We heard about Jadon Sancho potentially being ready to go as well to Juventus earlier on. That is going to be something that really does kick into gear, I think, now over the space of this week. And once that's done, Rashford's out. You've only really then got the likes of Antony to get rid of and Garnacho. Malassi will take care of itself. But I think now, like we said, to strap yourselves in now for the last part of this transfer window for Manchester United. It's going to get very, very busy. And again, please do keep getting your comments into the live comment section, everybody. If you are catching up later on, make sure that you do get your comments in on the comment section below. Please get commenting on Marcus Rashford. The big question is, do you feel like this is a good deal right now for Manchester United, loaning Marcus Rashford with an option for 30 million, but all of his wages gone? I want to hear what you thought about the game, Adam. In terms of the game, by the way, everybody, I'm actually just going to pop this into the live chat now because we're going to do a call-in as well about the game straight after this on Big Up. So I'm just going to drop this into the live chat for anybody who's in. And do click on the link as well, please, in the description if you're catching up later, because you'll be able to watch the call-ins and have everyone's opinion. So if you want to continue this show over on Big Up with me, actually call in and have your say on everything, the game, certain players, Marcus Rashford and Mbeumo, it is your chance. The call-in is back on Big Up right after this show, so make sure that you do tune into that, please, everybody. I'm looking for the comments. Please, everyone, get in here. Let me know what you think on this. I'll talk about the game as well, obviously, later on. But in terms of the game itself, I think Manchester United, in chopping and changing, the game, I think, was... You get excited about building up to the game. You get excited that football is back. And then you realise that pre-season football is horrendous to watch. It's so bad. It really is. The chopping and the changing, the constant substitutes and everything that goes on. It's horrendous. It's a horrible watch. It really is, isn't it? And we didn't get anything from that game. Matthias Cunha looks good, and Tom Heaton's Man United's #1 goalkeeper right now. That's what I took from the game. Rasmus Højlund still doing his usual. And again, Manchester United, indecisiveness going forward and can't score goals. Gaping holes in the midfield, particularly in the first half. For me, how we were dissected wasn't good enough, but it's game #1. I'm not going to get too concerned yet. I'm hoping that things will start to level off a little bit and performance levels will go up as the pre-season goes on. So let's just see what does happen from this point. But yeah, like we were saying earlier on, it seems to have fallen into insignificance because of the Marcus Rashford news. And like literally before kickoff, Ornstein broke a deal in the final stages, Rashford to Barcelona. And then in the game, Fabrizio Romano comes out and goes, "Bomber, here we go, Marcus Rashford to Barcelona." So get your particular comments in, and anything you want to bring up about this deal or the game itself, get into the comment section right now, please, everybody. Jenny says, any deal where we are not paying this clown's wages and he's not at United is a good deal. I hate Rashford with a passion. I agree with that. Like, not having to pay his wages and he's not at Manchester United, I think is huge. I think it's absolutely massive for United, this. I'm so happy that this deal has been done. I really am pleased with the business that Manchester United have done here. And nobody's going to convince me otherwise. I know what everyone's going to say. I do believe that there could have been a better deal, but was it realistically there? I don't think it was. Let's see what else we got. Heaton was awesome. It says number 7. He was decent, wasn't he? Glennie also had the whole summer transfer window to get the ins and outs. Well, no, they haven't, because we're only halfway through. Kazzy, come on. It's a poor comment, mate. Like, we had the whole transfer window. It's only halfway through, mate. What are you going on about? Come on. Things are happening now. Judge it when it's finished. Give it a chance. Joe says, 45 minutes into the first pre-season of the year, you can't see anything. I'll judge it on the last of pre-season. If players get 60, 70 minutes, yeah, it is what it is pre-season, isn't it? It's tough. It's tough because you can't judge a game of football properly because it isn't a real game. And I hate pre-season in a way. I'm happy football's back and we're watching Summit, but God, it's hard work, innit? Hard work watching pre-season, honestly. Painful, absolutely painful. Agreed, any deal to get him out is a good one and is better than the Villa deal. The fact that it's a whole season with no Marcus Rashford wages is absolutely huge. It's good to unload Rashford's wages, but he should have bought. What's that? He should have bought in at least 40 million as a transfer, despite his wages. Should he though, Gregory? No one was coming in and buying him. You can say that he should have done it, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. The facts are that no one bid, and there was nothing on the table for Manchester United to really look at and get into. So again, I don't believe that Manchester United had any other choice here. But I think this deal, is still really good, and it benefits us massively. It really does benefit us. Please pop a like on the video if you are just joining us now and get your say into the comment section, everybody. Hit that subscribe button as well, everyone. Absolutely loving the progress at the moment on the channel, and everybody who has subscribed, thank you again. Absolutely brilliant as always. Bruno last season in the Prem had 3 goal assists in open play versus teams outside the relegation fodder. It's not good enough when you deep when you deep his stats. I think that's supposed to mean like when you dig deep into his stats there. Yeah, stats are stats at the end of the day, aren't they? Like, you can look at the influence on the game. I worry more about the control of the game for Manchester United, and that toed and froed a little bit there, to be honest, in that game. But it's stop, start, multiple change, absolute nonsense football, and you're never going to be able to judge anything from it. You're looking at individuals, who's sharp, who looks good. Diego Leon's stats look great, but I don't think he looked fantastic in the game, to be honest. And he's going to need to adapt and get a little bit better going forward. So, again, like, stats can completely mirror or completely smokescreen the actual reality of a player's performance, I feel. And that might have been a bit. I mean, there were moments of Diego Leon that I thought were decent, don't get me wrong, but he's just starting and it's hard to judge. I think when we've played Fiorentina at Old Trafford in August, I think we'll know. 4 more games down the line in this pre-season, I think we're going to know pretty much where we're at and what we need to do. And that is that United, hopefully, have got more players in and more players have been moved on. But this is the beauty of the pre-season alongside what's happening in the window. It's like, we know that there's no one in that current team right now that's really unwanted or heading out the door. You can maybe argue like Anana or Rasmus Højlund or something like that, but the fact that Ruben's separated these players now and we're in a position where we can actually just concentrate on this squad in particular and see where the flaws are and bring in players now in the last 6 weeks of the window to fix that. I think that's probably something that we can look at encouragingly, I feel, as well. No smoke screen, Adam. We finished 15th. Didn't see any smoke screen on that at all. I meant in terms of player performances, mate. Do I? Bruno can't control games in possession, specifically from central midfield. He isn't a possession player. He suits counter teams the way he plays. Again, like, this is what United need to decide on, mate. There's nothing we can do, Cal. There's nothing we can do. Bruno is going to play every single game this season, and we have to accept it. This is on Amorim, not Bruno. This is Amorim's call right now. And obviously, Manchester United didn't want to sell Bruno. I've not got a problem with not selling Bruno at all, as everyone knows from when that news finally came to an end. And I think it's finding the right partnership that's the bigger problem. Like Kobbie Mainoo came in today. I think Kobbie was okay in parts. I think Dorgu was probably my most impressive player in that second half anyway. And again, like, decisions need to be made there by Ruben Amorim. You've got Dorgu there, you've got Diego Leon there. What's best? Ahmad played on the right-hand side, then switched into the number 10 as well through the half. So, yeah, I think United are looking at everything right now and looking for comfort factor within players' performances. And you're not going to get that, I don't think, until maybe 2 or 3 games into pre-season. And then I think you might see Manchester United go even bigger into the transfer market and try and make some more deals happen. I just think that there is a lot more to come. Watching Rasmus, in my opinion, tells me he can't read the game, always in the wrong place and not watching where his teammates are. He has to learn, otherwise he never make it as a striker. Again, that's people replying to people in the chat here, everyone having their say on the game today. Again, I think the game fell into complete insignificance because of what's happened with Marcus Rashford. I think that is absolutely crucial. And if you have just joined us again, just to break the news down, Marcus Rashford's wages will be paid in full by Barcelona. Marcus Rashford has taken a pay cut to make this happen. How that works, I have no idea. And of course, the big one as well, Manchester United's option for Barcelona to buy Marcus Rashford next season is 30 million, 10 million less. So they've lowered the price for him, they've got rid of his wages, and they're making it easy for someone to actually come in and buy him. And they're probably hoping that this time Marcus Rashford will be gone and Barcelona will trigger that next summer. Because I think next season, with Barcelona back financially, with all of the Nou Camp revenues and everything that the new reformed Nou Camp is going to bring them, I think that's probably going to be significant. And I think United know this. I actually think that that deal will happen. Because United have come down so much to the 30 million mark now, I actually think that Marcus Rashford leaving will happen. I think they'll trigger the option. We've obviously got to hope that he does actually play well this season. Otherwise, everything that I've just said is absolutely pointless. So I think now we're looking at hoping more than anything that Rashford pulls his finger out and he really does show Barcelona that he's worth that 30 million next summer. And again, I said it at the start, Barcelona have asked the question there to Marcus Rashford, are we going to get the Marcus Rashford from a couple of years ago that bagged 30 goals a season, that was an England regular, or are we going to get the nightmare Marcus Rashford that mopes around the pitch because he thinks the world is against him and he's not treated right by Manchester United? It's a different environment and it's a different challenge for him now, and he has to step up to the mark. And this, I think, is going to be the defining moment of his career. Completely. He's back in the Champions League. He's back at the highest level. He's where he wants to go. United have made it happen. And I don't think now, going from this, I don't think there'll be any sort of animosity between United and Marcus Rashford from this. Maybe Ruben's still got his feelings about him. He's made that clear by isolating him from the first team squad training anyway. But no more Marcus Rashford turning in to training on his own at 5 o'clock in his brand new Rolls Royce. Marcus Rashford needs to go and find a house in Barcelona to rent for a season. Will it be more past that? That's the big question, isn't it? But yeah, like it really, honestly, doesn't matter about anything else now. The news is that big on Marcus Rashford. Nothing else matters at all, and that's how I feel about it. I do think that now we're looking at this big moment. I actually feel like United can now look at other targets properly, and we are going to see Manchester United get busier in the incomings. I really do see it happening. Let's get some more comments on this. Jonathan says, I wish Rashford the best. I hope he smashes it in Barcelona, pays the 30 million. Remember the days when we thought Rashford was worth 100 million. Yeah, I remember them days as well. I do. Adam, I've just got my tickets through for Fiorentina game. I'd love to meet up and have a beer with you. Keep up the great work, mate. Love the channel and love you and Kaz. I'm not even sure if I'm at the Fiorentina game yet, actually. I'll check that out and just check it. I don't know what I'm doing that day. That was the thing, if I can remember back. But I'll let you know anyway. I'll let you know, everybody, if we're actually going to that game. Max says he loves me. Thank you, Max. Love you too, mate. Will Marcus Rashford be a starter at Barcelona? Why do I doubt it? Because there is no guarantee that he is a starter at Barcelona, mate. I said this all along as well. Like, I kind of knew that he would get the move, like I said, but my opinion of it was always the wrong move for him. I just don't think he is going to start every game. I know he doesn't walk right into that side. The thing is with Marcus Rashford, at the end of this season, I think his stats will look good because he plays in some of them gimme games in La Liga where he'll just go out and smash a poor side and score a couple of goals here and there. I think Marcus Rashford scores 20 goals for Barcelona this season. And whether that's enough for him to actually stake a claim and convince Barcelona that he's worth 30 million investment next summer, we'll see from Barca's side of things. But they're buying a player that should be in his prime right now. They're buying a player, or taking a player in on loan, that has got that proven quality in moments for Manchester United and England. And they're hoping they can bring it back out of him. Hansi Flick, by the way, will absolutely destroy Marcus Rashford. He will get more out of that man, or his career is done. That's a fact right there. You only have to look at the relationship between Rafinha and Hansi Flick at Barcelona right now. It is full on no nonsense, and he is the boss at Barcelona and well respected there now. So Marcus Rashford working under Hansi Flick, if he thought he had it hard before, he's about to find a whole new world of discipline as well there, because Flick doesn't let anybody get away with anything. And that's just going off what reports I've read from some Barcelona representatives and journalists on certain games and certain fallouts and things, just in general reading. It sounds like Hansi Flick has massive, massive respect within Barcelona, and he will make sure that Marcus Rashford knows who's in charge. Rashford's going to have to pull his finger out big time to make anything work for him at Barcelona. Mashup in the chat. It's only when these problem players are gone that we can truly move forward. Great news to see this wage off the books for this season. All we could have realistically hoped for. Yeah, exactly. But one thing you did say there as well, mate, which was it's only when these players are gone can we truly move forward. That line there for Mashup, I will rejig that line and say it this way. Only when these problem players leave Manchester United will we be able to judge this team, Ruben Amorim, and Manchester United's progress properly. And by that I mean there won't be an excuse. It's the problem players. It's the culture. What can Ruben Amorim do when you've got players like this going behind his back constantly? All of this talk will be gone. Completely gone. Because all we're going to be able to talk about is really good players at Manchester United. Cunha today looked sharp, looked good. You've got Mbumo to add to that. So we're going to buy another striker as well. We'll see what happens with the goalkeeper. On the goalkeeper, actually, Tom Eaton starts the season for me. He's just better. Like, Bayendale looks shaky as hell again. I'm just not convinced by him. Obviously, you know where I'm at with Andre Onana anyway. I just don't think he should be anywhere near a United shirt. But again, like, this is when you are now going to be able to judge Ruben Amorim properly. There's nothing behind the scenes that's really stopping this happen now. There's nothing behind the scenes you could say is affecting what happens on the pitch. Them days are gone when you get rid of the headaches. And this is the big thing now, I think, for United moving forward. It's all about what Ruben does with a proper football squad. And that, more than anything, is vital to really, really being able to judge what he can do as a coach. And he's done his bit behind the scenes. Don't get me wrong, like, he isolated the players. He told them not to come back. He's made his decision. He's been ruthless. He's cut out player culture FC. But then again, a lot of people will say after watching that Leeds game today, it just looks like the same players making the same mistakes, and Man United cannot finish. And it's another game where United don't score a goal. And that's always going to be there. It happened in the post-season tour in Asia when we got beat the first game. And then we bagged a couple in the second game, obviously, but still. Again, this will be the fear going forward. This will be the fear for most Manchester United fans going forward now. Like, what are we going to do with the rest of this window in bringing a striker in? Marcus Rashford helps that massively in leaving the football club. It does. And that, I think, is what people sometimes forget, personally. Welcome to the Members Club, Pablo, and welcome whoever has been gifted by London. Again, thank you, London, for that gifted membership. Absolutely brilliant contributions, as always. Let's see what we've got. Do we know how much this gives us towards a striker from this deal? Well, Liam, I was mentioning this earlier on. So if you break down Brian Mbeumo has cost Manchester United approximately, we're guessing with his wages, but for transfer fee, 16.2 million for this summer. So we're going to pay 4 instalments of 16.2 million. That adds up to 65 million. So that's what United are paying. You add on to that a few million into wages. So it's costing us just over 20 million. And already we're saving over 16 million in Marcus Rashford's wages. It would have been closer to 20 million, and I did get my sums wrong on that. So when everyone goes back and hears me say 20 million, that's what his original, with being in the Champions League, would have been for United. But people are saying it's a bit less, it's more 16 million. That's because his wages have been cut by 25% because of the non-Champions League. So the ways that we're judging here right now compared to last season, you're saving 16 million. So you can imagine if we've bought Brian Mbeumo for 65 mil and given him 180 grand a week wages, that's cost us about 23 million a season. We've already saved over 16 million from Marcus Rashford this summer now with his wages. Added to that, the money that we've got from the players that we've got sell-on clauses with, and Jadon Sancho's money. This now gives United the room to go out and buy that striker. Whether or not they'll do it, whether they'll want confirmation of one more going. Obviously, Jadon Sancho saves Manchester United an absolute fortune as well, more than Marcus Rashford. So Sancho and Rashford alone, if United do accept, apparently, that bid of 15 million for Jadon Sancho, which has been, again, said today, been accepted, we will see. But if you can get rid of Marcus Rashford, take this for a weekend, yeah? If you're looking for a Carlsberg weekend, and this happens when I go away, and I'm taking the credit for this, this could actually be a reality. Manchester United in one weekend get rid of Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho and sign Brian Mbeumo. Try and turn that into a negative. Just try. Just try and turn that into a negative. You will fall on your ass. You will. There's not a chance you could even give it a go, to be honest. It's a brilliant weekend for Man United if that does come off. So that's a realistic scenario for Man United right now, in that the Sancho one keeps on coming out. I think there could be something happening soon with that, and we could get an announcement on it. It feels like it's getting close. It feels like it's coming to an end. Rashford, just like that, bang, gone, done. And that's just a bonus. But now heading into the tour, if you'd have told me, going into the tour, and let me just ask the question to the chat actually right now, and if you're catching up later on, please answer this question. Please answer this question. If you was asked, after we got beat in that final to Spurs, that going into the tour, at the end of July, Manchester United would have signed Matheus Cunha, Brian Mbeumo, and you would have got rid of Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho, all in that first 6 weeks of the transfer window, would you have accepted it? Every single Manchester United fan on this planet would have snatched your hand off for it. And don't even try and tell me you wouldn't. You would. Come on, like, be honest. Like, even when you want to argue against me because you don't like me, there's some that don't. Can't believe it, I know. But even when you don't agree with what I say, or you feel like Ineos should be doing more and they are poison for this football club, deep down you're thinking, you know what? That's probably not too bad. That's not too bad. I still seen people this morning tweeting out, only one signing done yet, completed, and no one's left. Man, in the space of a week, we could have turned it around to 2 in and 2 out, and 2 significantly massive ins and outs. And nobody can argue against that. Nobody. I challenge you to. I know someone will now, obviously, but come on. You know deep down that Man United have done really good business with this here. You know it. Be honest with yourself. I'm winding people up a little bit there as well. Did you watch that crap? I did, mate. Nigel, it's the first game of pre-season. I never expect anything from pre-season. I've sat through some absolute dross in pre-season. I really have. And I will never get excited about anything that happens in any pre-season game. Why is my screen not moving? Sorry, everyone. I'm just going to refresh my chat just to bring up everything that's going on. Because all of my chat stopped there for a minute. So keep your comments coming in. I've got them back up again now. Adam, yes, I'd have taken it, but we do need more. Of course we do, but we've got time to do more. And we always knew that we couldn't do everything we wanted to until everyone had left. And getting Rashford and Sancho out the door, that's massive, because Antony's going to go for all right money by the sounds of it now. I think that's going to be a big part of this. So I think Antony's going to go for okay money, decent enough, and then Man United will move forward then with their players to come in. And this is, like I said, when we announced Bryan Mbeumo, what did I say? I said, like, to be fair, like, I don't really rate the recruitment of Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha as great recruitment. It's obvious. Recruitment to me is finding that gem that turns out to be an absolute world beater that you don't pay a lot of money for, or you manage to get a good deal in selling a player. Like, everybody knew what Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha were. Good work from United in getting them deals done. Well done on that side of it. But recruitment-wise, it's a bit different for me. And I said, as soon as Bryan Mbeumo was done, I said, I will now start to properly judge Ineos, because I want to see what they can do with getting rid of players. I want to see what they can do in shifting this shit on, basically. And that's when we are probably going to be able to see what their mettle is. And that, I think, is next. And I think that's where every single Manchester United fan's going, yeah, I think, do you know what? Like, 2, we're okay with. Yeah, we want more players in, but show me what you can do. Like, get these players out of the door. Because everybody knows, every single Man United fan knows that it's the most important thing right now is moving these players out. We need better quality, and we really do. But we are sick to the back teeth of watching these pre-Madonna, overpaid, overhyped, self-indulged, like, honestly, like, just absolute mercenaries was the word that probably got brought up more than anything else in describing Manchester United players these days and these types of players. So I think most Manchester United fans with this secretly, even if you're a big Ineos hater or Glazer hater or anything, Manchester United hater at the moment, you're thinking this is good business. Can any of the people complaining about Rashford and Sancho not being gone on permanent deals please offer their expert opinion on how that would have happened if they were in charge, please? That's a fair point, Andrew, there. Everyone says this is not a good deal, but, or not everyone, a lot of people say that this isn't a good deal, but then they don't come back with anything else. It's like, yeah, we should have got this for him. Should we? Going off what's happened, this, I said before, is not a normal scenario for a football club. No other football club is going through what Manchester United are going through right now. No one, not one team is having to deal with the amount of shit that United are doing or having to deal with. And it's been thrust upon this ownership to deal with. And they are. They have been cutthroat with staff, not nice, not ideal, sometimes necessary, and they're doing it with the playing staff as well now. Get out. You're not welcome anymore. That's the important thing in this. Right, let's get some more updates. I'm having a few come through here. I'm just going to read through a few things from the game and what Amrim said. Also on Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford has taken a salary cut to join Barcelona, earning around €10 million gross, including bonuses. This allows Barcelona to cover his wage in full. I would love to know how that is balanced out. Is it that Marcus Rashford just doesn't get paid by Man United for a year and Barcelona just do a one-year contract agreement? I think that's how it must be worked into it, because normally it's part of his wages are paid from the parent club. So I'm guessing Manchester United have wiped off 1 year his contract, which is this year, and Barcelona have covered the wages, but they've accepted, or he's accepted what Barcelona have offered on this one. So he's on €10 million. What's that, about £8 million or something like that? It's a massive drop for Marcus Rashford to make that move. Although tax isn't as high in Barcelona, so he'd probably still be still on a fortune. Harry Maguire didn't have a knock and his substitution was planned before the game, though that's been covered as well, just to be sure on that, because Harry Maguire only played 30 minutes. Amram has said we suffered a little bit when we tried to press high. We have a lack of pace in the middle of the park. We created chances. Cunha showed what we need between the lines. He is very aggressive. That's very good as well on that one. Amarim was making the players do more running at half-time, full-time as well. Marcus Rashford has taken a salary cut to join Barcelona. He will be paid around €9 million gross, one saying. Again, that's Ben Jacobs. I think he's been misquoted or quoted a couple of times there in terms of what Marcus Rashford is on. Ruben Amorim talking, we watched him at Cunha last season in a different team. So we expect the same thing. You can see the connection between him and Bruno is still not there yet, but it's going to be a good connection. That's from Ruben Amorim on Matheus Cunha from the game today. Ruben Amorim also says that we have a lack of pace, especially in the middle of the park. You can feel it. Is that something United will go in on? Like he said, he wants that athletic midfielder. Games like this prove a lot. Like, do you need to go for a goalkeeper right now before a midfielder and a number 8 and a number 9? Maybe this will determine what Man United do in this transfer window now up until the last few weeks. Let's see what does happen on it. Amorim on Diego Leon also. Leon comes from Paraguay. It's his second week in Manchester. He's done well. He's powerful. He's learning. He will be a very good player, says Amorim on that one. So, yeah, Amorim talking after the game. A few quotes for you there from what the manager said. Let's get a few more comments in as well. Graham in the chat says, Marcus Rashford sorted for the year is good. Salary paid in full is a win too. Option for 30 million is low, but if it happens, it's done. Exactly. He's off the books. The headache's gone. You've got a little bit of money in. Don't forget, like Marcus Rashford and a year off his contract. Think of the severance pay that United would have to pay. So it's one more year gone that United don't have to pay. And then next summer, when United are dealing with Marcus Rashford, and we get that 30 million for him, hopefully, and then we're not having to pay as much in the severance because his contract's got 1 year less and there's less to negotiate. That, I think, is also very, very important to remember in this one. Was anyone else disappointed in Leon? Yeah, to be honest, Babs, I think it was hard. It's always going to be hard. Like Ruben just said there, Babs, I think first game, he's only 2 weeks into Manchester. He's making a massive step up. He's going to need time. Attributes are there, and I think he will become an all right player for United. But he's going to need more games before we can really judge him. I don't think it's fair right now. He didn't have a fantastic game. You're right on that, Babs. But I do think that there's going to be a little bit more patience needed with the likes of Leon. And I think good things will possibly come from it. Cunha was the one for me I thought was impressed with. Ahmad was doing his usual absolute 100% performance from him. Casemiro looked way off it, but Casemiro always takes ages to get going, doesn't he? Like literally, it's like a ship pulling out of a port for him to get going and motoring. He'll probably be used sparingly through the season and come in when we really need him, I think, more than anything. Agate didn't impress me when he came on, didn't have much time though. Bruno, I thought, had a poor game as well. Dello, when he came on, all right in parts. All right, decent. Luke Shaw on the back line, don't expect much. Like Lenny Yoro looked classy when he came on. Thought Heaven was mature in his performance. Yeah, and like I said, Heaton is probably our best goalkeeper. I've been saying it for ages. I was saying it last season and doing fan vlogs outside the stadium. Tom Heaton is better than both Bayindir and Andre Onana. He's passing, he's assured passing, he's controlling the ball, he's saving. He's just your average goalkeeper. But the fact that we've got two poor goalkeepers makes him look like he's an absolutely outstanding goalkeeper. And it's horrible to say that, but they're the facts. I'm telling you now. If Rios is still available, we need to go for him. Midfield is a massive issue. Bruno isn't disciplined enough to play in there. Please buy a top striker or we look toothless up front. Play Tom Heaton for a season. Save your money. And go and buy a number 8 and a number 9. Oh God! Like honestly, like you'll get more clean sheets next season with Tom Heaton in goal than you will Andre Onana with that defence in front of him. Because one thing Tom Heaton also is, as well as what you've seen today in being a good shot stopper, is a great communicator, and that is probably just as big as stopping shots when it comes to goalkeepers. I think it's vital. Almost at 500 likes, everybody. I know it's busy out there. I know the football's been on and this is a totally different live stream, but if you could give the video a like, pop them thumbs up on the video, everyone. Let's see if we can get it up to 500 likes, please. And yes, do your best with that. I'm going to do an extra 20-30 minutes over on Big Up shortly as well. The link is in the live chat, everybody. So go click on that link if you want to come on and have your say about the game, you want to talk about any particular player from today's first pre-season game, or in fact the Marcus Rashford, Brian Mbeumo situation right now, what else is going on, where our window is at. Great point there for maybe in the chats. Leon is 18 from Paraguay, who has been in Manchester for 2 weeks. He needs time. He does. Can we not sell Bayende and get Victor or Kovar for the money we get for Bayende? We could get Victor, John. We could get John Victor. Sorry, Victor. Is it Victor John? John Victor, yeah. Well, never trust a man with 2 first names. But Kovar's gone now, I think. He's off to PSV. So that deal is already done. And I think the ship has sailed. But look, Rashford is done. Here we go. Marcus Rashford, Barcelona. We don't have to look at his face again. We are not going to see him roll up in his Rolls Royce to Carrington ever again. It's over. Thank God that one is done. And on that is our show this evening as well. All finished earlier than normal. If anything does break later on this evening, I'll cover it. But obviously, it's fight night as well tonight. It's Dubois against Usyk. So I'll be watching that, fully switched on for that. But be covering the news if anything else does break. So if there is anything, I will be back, obviously, later on. But doing an early show. Going to go out for an Italian tonight, actually. Fancy an Italian. But before that, we have got a big up to get through. So, everybody who wants to continue this chat or come and even have a chat, have your say, get over to Big Up now. We're going to do a quick fire show over there to give you your chance of giving you your chance to get your opinion across also. Thank you again, all of the mods in the chat, super chats, everyone who contributed. Give the video a like on the way out. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, everyone.